Hi, I'm Debbie Chronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm here to show you how I made this really cute card with this unique panel here. That's what I want to show you mainly. So I have used Hand-Penned Petals, which is one of our new sets, and the dies that coordinate with it as well. And I have used Encircled in Friendship. I'm not using this stamp set, although you could very easily use it. But this die set, the Encircled in Beauty dies, there's 6 of them, and they cut out beautiful doilies. So to create this doily, I used these two, this outline, which fits perfectly with the inner circle die here, this one. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me put this away. And so we'll start with how I created this panel. So set all this aside for now. So I cut a piece of basic white cardstock at 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to use my grid paper here to create a pattern that I can use over and over. So I'm going to just line this up with the edge here, and every 3 spaces I'm going to put a line. So 1, 2, every 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to mark that line. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to mark that one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, something's wrong. I goofed on the first one. Oops. Okay, let's start over. Okay, these over here I know are marked right. I did them earlier today, and those are marked right. So I got 1, 2, 3. Let's just ignore all of that. Let's come this way. 1, 2, third line right there. 1, 2, 3, mark it. 1, 2, 3, mark it. So you get the idea. You're going to go across and mark it. The last, when you count the last 3, it should come to the edge of your paper. Okay, so then I'm going to line up my paper here, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to put a little mark on where each of those marks are. Oops, not that one. I don't know why I want to mark that one every time. That one and that one. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other edge. And this is just a little guide for me to be able to line my paper up correctly to create that design. So these are 3/4 of an inch apart is actually what they are. So each one of these is 1/4 of an inch, so 3 of them would be 3/4 of an inch. So you want to mark it 3/4 of an inch apart. Okay, then I'm going to cut some designer series paper, and I am using the one for the hand pen, and you're going to need 8 little pieces that are 3/4 of an inch by 2.5 inches, just to give you plenty to work with. Oops, I'm going to cut these to 2.5. So I'm going to cut it to 5 first. And now I can cut those 2 pieces to 2.5, and I'll have my 4 little pieces. Now, if you're using 2 different designer papers, you want to use I'm going to use 2 sides of the same paper. But if you wanted to use a different one, say you wanted to use a yellow or a green, you would cut 4 of each one. So that's what you need to do the project. So 5. Ooh, that one's not going to be quite enough. Let's hope it's, nope. I'm going to have to cut another one. And I'm sorry for the noise in the background. I don't know what's going on in the other room, but there's enough noise. I think my son is doing something with my internet. So, who knows? So let's cut this one at 5. Oop, cut, not score. Okay, so now I have 2 5-inch pieces, and I'll cut those at 2.5. So this is a great project to do to use up some of your papers that you have, little pieces of paper that you have left over sometimes from miscellaneous things. Okay, so now let's start the process. So I'm going to turn this way, and that's where I'm going to work. And I'm going to work on my solid panel first, the one that's more intense in color. And I'm going to go from this line here, down here, so there's a little mark right there, to the corner. And I do want my silicone mat. Grab that. I had it on another table while I was working earlier. Okay, and then my second one is going to go, oops, what am I using? Where's my... Okay, the second one is going to go from that line over to that line. So you see my little marks there. Oops, I'm a little short here, so be careful on that. I'm not going to move it. That one's going to make it, even though it looks a little short. Okay, the third one is going to come from there over to that little line. So there's a little mark there and a little mark there. And then my last one, that one looks too short. That must have been a leftover piece. My last one is going to go, oh, that's the wrong side. Look at it. Okay. The last one is going to go from this corner to that mark. Okay. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go the opposite way. So when you do this, see how that seems to be a natural thing right there? We don't want that. We do not want this in the center open. We want our openings on the sides. So we're going to go from here to there. No, from here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to line this up so the left edge of my paper is here, and the right edge, oh, this doesn't seem right. It is. Okay. Or is it my right edge and my right edge? It is. It's my right edge and my right edge. So this edge is on the corner. No, because that makes it in the center. I'm going to turn this around. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. If I flip it around, then it works. Okay. So this is going to go from this edge up here to this edge down here, to my corner down here. So I need to flip this over and see where my corner is, just to be sure that I have it near the corner, at least. Okay, that'll work. And it goes up to this corner here. So now I have these two on the edges. Otherwise, I end up with it in the center. And I don't want it in the center. I want my color in the center. Okay, so then this one is going to go from this edge of this paper to the edge of that paper. This one is going to do the same thing. From this edge of the paper over to that one. And then this one is going to go from this corner to the corner over there. Okay, so you can see my white spots are on the outside edges. That's what you really want to watch for. The first time I did it, I had my white spots in the center, and it just didn't quite look right. Okay, so I'm going to lift this one a little bit, just because it's just going to be short to cut. So that goes from there over to there. This just doesn't seem right, guys. It's not right. There. This one. Let's pull that one up too a little bit and just reposition it since it's so far off. There. That one goes from there to there. Okay, now let's trim it. kind of tricky. Okay. So then you're just going to trim these off. Look at that messy back. Good thing that's the back, huh? So you're going to trim all the way around here. You can do it with a paper cutter or a paper trimmer or a pair of scissors. I think a pair of scissors is just fine. Okay, I know what this is. This is glue on my silicone mat that I did earlier. Okay. Okay, now that is created. So now I'm going to attach this to my Highland Heather. Background. Oh, no, I'm not. Wait a minute. Before I cut that, before I do that, these two should be exactly the same size. And I did this, and it was, where I saw this, it was it was done in metric. And so I could not convert it because it only needs 1/8 of an inch cut off. So you're going to cut off 1/8 of an inch when you're done. You can either cut 2/16 off one end, I mean a 1/16 off of each end, or you can cut off 1/8 all total. But you need 1/8 of an inch cut off. And then you're just going to attach that to our background. Okay. Now let's get our card made. You're going to adhere this to this 4 1/4, 4 1/8, I think it is, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece of basic white, like so. And then that's going to go to the inside of your card. Now, if you wanted to stamp a greeting, this would be the time to do it before you attach that piece. And then I'm just going to put this in here. Now the card is cut at 6 5/8 by 5 1/2. Go. This is looking like it's coming up a little bit, probably from me lifting it so much. There we go. Okay, so there is our card, our basic card. All right, then I've cut a piece of Highland Heather, and I have embossed it with the textile embossing folder, and I have a piece of basic white. So I'm going to attach my Highland Heather to my basic white here. Preferably straight. And then I'm going to attach that to that front flap on my card. Just like that. Now I have already cut my doily from the dies, so I'm going to attach that. I have a few little spots here that have little dots in them, so I'm going to punch those out so we have a nice clean doily. And I'm going to attach that to my card front using green glue, and I would like to use a sponge, but I don't, oh, I do have one. I've got one right here. Let's see. Do we have a clean side? That's always the question. So I'm just going to put a little, this is how I got glue on my mat earlier. And so I'm just going to grab that, pick it up, and I'm going to put it on the back here. Okay, and then attach it to the front of my card, just like so. So I only want glue on one side, but I do want it glued pretty well. And then this is the center that was in this card. So I'm going to attach that with dimensionals to the center area here because I want to pop it up a little bit. And I'm going to put my dimensionals in here. That way there's no question about where to put those dimensionals so they don't go over into the other area. And then just set that right in there. Okay, now let's do my flower. Okay, so I'm going to use hand-penned. Let me get all my little blocks out here because this one takes a lot of blocks. It's got a lot of different images, a lot of different parts. My stamp right here. So I'm going to ink up my stamp using Memento ink. The Tuxedo Black Memento. I want to make sure it's well inked. Okay. And I am going to stamp it on here. Just a piece of with basic white. And I just want to make sure I get a good impression. Good. All right, I'm going to run over and die cut this real quick with my with the die from Hand-Penned Petals Bundle. So typically I would color this in first, but today I'm going to try something else. So I'm going to use Highland Heather for my flowers. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So this flower, and the thing is this is like a watercolor, so it doesn't fill it in completely. So there's part of it. There's one. And then I'm going to use Highland Heather for my other one. But this one I'm going to stamp off and then stamp it. So it's a little lighter. And then for my third one down here, I'm also going to stamp off maybe twice. What's the third time? Ooh, third time doesn't even hardly show. Let's go real light stamp off. And we'll give that a try. Perfect. Okay. So then for my my little flowers, I'm going to use So Saffron. And one of these flowers is smaller than the other one. Let's see, how bright is my So Saffron? I think I can do that full strength. Yeah. Okay, and then for my leaves, I am going to use Soft Sea Foam. And there are two different size leaves for this in this set, a little one and a big one. So the big one is going to be this one and this one. I want to turn that around. Doesn't fit that way either. Okay. So we're just going to go this way. It fits. And then the small ones are all the rest. So that one, that one, and these two down here. Okay. So there is my flower. Okay, so this is going to get attached with dimensionals. And I think I will do it just like that. So I'm going to put my dimensionals once again on here. Oh, no, I'm not, because I'm not sure how much of that it's going to cover. Probably most of it. So I think we'll be safe with it. one on the back of the flower just so it is over here. The dimensional will kind of help hold it together too. So there we are. Okay, let me grab some rhinestones. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Yeah, it's okay. No, this is not sticking. I had a feeling it wasn't. Okay, I'm going to do something that I probably shouldn't. I'm going to try gluing this while it's still on the card. And just put some green glue strips across it. Just kind of brush on it like so. We'll see what happens. Let's get it into position. Whoa. I'd like to do this without getting glue all over my card front, but I don't know if I'm going to. It dries clear, so that's a good thing. Okay, I would recommend you attach that better next time. I would recommend I do it better next time. Okay, let me get some bling. Let's put some so Highland Heather doesn't really have pastel pearls would be beautiful with Highland Heather. Yes. So these are the pastel pearls. They did come through to this catalog. So do I want a darker one or a lighter one? Question. Let's grab, I think I want a darker one. So let's grab them from here. They almost blend in, don't they? Let's pull a light one and see how it looks. Okay, we're gonna go with the darker on the light and the lighter on the dark. How about that? So let's move this one over to here because he's a little darker, the flower's a little lighter. And let's put a darker one here. And let's grab this light one that I had and put it there. So we have a little variety. Okay, so I want to show you how I did the greeting on this one. The greeting is fussy cut. And so I just, let's do anything as possible. I think that'll fit down here on the bottom. So let me grab that out of the stamp set. Anything as possible. Yeah, that's it. And let's take this one off and put it back in here so I don't lose it. And we'll put this one on here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this on a piece of basic white. The only one I have laying around right now is this one. So I'm going to stamp it in Highland Heather. No, I'm not. I'm going to stamp it in a black, in the tuxedo black, just like that. And then I'm going to fussy cut. So when I'm cutting this, first of all, I want to cut it down so it's manageable. Okay. And then I'm going to come across here and I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to go down. And I just want to turn my paper. You see my left hand is turning, my right hand is staying still. Okay, so that gives me that nice, pretty, smooth cut. You can see where I move my left hand, it shows. It's not as smooth. So I'm just gonna, and this takes practice. I did not learn this in kindergarten when I learned to cut. I learned this from my upline, Janice Urke. She's the one who taught me to move my left hand instead of my right hand, because I was a right-hander all the way. And you can cut down and up as much as you want. So I'm not going to go way down in there for those. I'm just going to go a little bit so that I could have gone a little smoother there. So you can see I'm still practicing just as well. And that's nice and smooth across there. And then I just want to round my corner here at the end. And there we are. I love it. Came out good. Okay, so then I'm just going to attach this right down here. See how pretty that is? It's just, even though it's just been fussy cut, I'm going to cut in a little bit here just to give it a little scallopy there. But you want to be careful doing that because you have to really blend it out. Okay, so I'm going to put this on with some mini dimensionals. Get my tweezers to grab those. And I am going to use 3 on this because I want it to stay popped up. I can't get that one off. Okay. Oops. Put it on upside down. All right. It could go up here. It can go down here. I'm going to put it down here. All right. So that is my card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you make some, let me know. Let me know how you did. And if you have any problems with it, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Thank you so much. You'll find me at stampwithdeb.com. And I appreciate your business. If you need any products or any supplies, you can order through there. There's a shop button on stampwithdeb.com. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.